Hello, and welcome everybody to Chalkcast episode number 89. Finally, the starting soon screen is gone because Johnny had to pee about 6 times, but we're here joined by Dazerin. And,
also known as the Ballon d'Or after
the
these
Ballon d'Or
ranked games that we've just been playing.
He is something else. I'll tell you what, when you get that man in ranked, that doesn't matter who's on his team, he just elevates. And gee, did he elevate? Not the team elevate, because they definitely were elevating. They've been declining. But Dazerin, he's been elevating his game to Ballon d'Or. We've been absolutely dominating the ranked, and he's been enjoying it so much that he's going to a place where you can't even play Rocket League, Korea. Daz, what are you doing over there?
Okay, yeah, sure. So this past weekend, I was in California because I was working with GenG. GenG was at a school. It's called UC Berkeley. UC Berkeley, if you guys know about it. They had this like thing where all the kids are like coming to school and trying to get into all their clubs and stuff. So GenG had a booth there, and they were talking about their program. One of their programs is a kind of study abroad program. If you want to know more details, I retweeted it on Twitter. So it's like my latest tweet. Basically, something that's so cool is that GenG has a actual high school. So they have a high school in Korea, and it's like a real school. So the way it works is by day you go and you have all your studies like a normal high school, but by the evening you're doing one or two things. You're either working towards you're learning about like esports and the back end and things of that nature, or you're practicing to become pro. And what's even cooler about this is if you guys are familiar with League of Legends, specifically LCK Korea, because everybody knows Koreans are super good.
Oh, we're familiar.
We are like a
familiar.
Yeah, so people are, LCK. GenG is one of the best teams in LCK right now.
Yeah, we saw them win the.
Yeah, we went to the LCK Grand Finals. Did you know?
Yeah. My bad.
Sorry, Bragg.
Sorry. Did you go?
Please continue.
I wasn't there. But so Pays, who's on the GenG roster, he's been doing really good, especially in the last year or so. A couple of MVPs, all LCK team. He went to the high school, and once he was done with the high school, he joined GenG's team. That's
that's the dream. That is a dream advertisement for this school. He's saying, look what you can do because this guy did it.
What? Wait, so this school's been around for a while then?
Yeah, I don't know exactly when it started.
2019.
I know it's been around for a while, and it's been a good program. And now they're trying to expand programs into the U.S. They've already done something. I was in Kentucky earlier this year. I spoke there, and then now they're trying to get something going on West Coast around like UC Berkeley, using that as a spot. So I mean, it was a sick experience. It was cool to meet the students, and yeah, I told them I'm definitely going to go to Korea because I want to see this for myself. So, yeah,
that's sick. When are you gonna go?
I mean, it's got to be after the World Championship sometime. I want to say probably October-ish. Probably looking at October. Haven't booked anything yet.
Clear your calendar. We're going to Korea in October. We're going back.
Looks like we've got a trip planned. Yeah, I mean, I want to 1v1 some League of Legends players at that school. I want to see.
I don't know if you do actually.
I'm up for the challenge. I want to see. I want there to be like a scale to it. Like I want to face the biggest noob there, and then go all the way up to like.
You're just gonna get destroyed by everyone at that school. It doesn't matter, biggest noob, like best player. I feel like the range is gonna be immaculate.
I don't know how bad the worst player. I mean, I'm just reading an article when it first launched. They selectively recruited 25 students for their first class. I'm assuming now, 5 years later, it's grown a lot. But Rizzo, I don't think you're just going to be playing some bronze guy. I guess imagine they would go there and Rizzo's like in the corner. He's harassing some kid going, you heard about my my singed top lane? It's kind of like,
singed 1v1.
I play singed in the 1v1.
I play Singed. You heard about Singed? You know Singed top? If I just proxy, you heard about this guy? It's like, oh my god.
You try proxy on Howling Abyss on 1v1. Like, wait, I can't proxy.
Wait, hold on here.
No,
yeah,
it's
awesome, so yeah, if you guys want to go, let me know. Apparently, GenG's got a deal on like hotels and stuff, so we can.
Oh, this is getting better.
I am here. Instant acceptance here. Like we are in.
No, we We don't
Yeah,
need a lot of
because
convincing. We loved Korea. Korea was so cool. I feel like
Alright.
the Chalkcast community loved Korea. Well,
Let me
living
just search in flights
vicariously
real
in
quick.
Korea. Yeah, the one question though is there another League of Legends LAN that we can pull up at in October? I feel like there might
Ooh,
be, possibly.
that's a good
Surely.
question.
Surely, right? Don't they just play it all year? Don't they just
Yeah,
never
there'll be
stop?
some split final.
Yeah, go on then. Autumn split. Why not?
Get rolled.
Yeah, I'm seeing
Yeah,
some
if
good
Chalked
Isn't
HQ
yeah? Isn't Worlds
ends up
like usually
anywhere, it would
end of
probably be
year?
still.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it
good.
is. It's like November, I believe.
Then it's probably not
It
anything
starts.
in October.
Their world starts September 25th and ends November 2nd.
Oh yeah, they've got like a long worlds.
Yeah, the locations are London,
Yeah,
London,
it's all
Paris,
over the
and
place
Berlin.
though.
I think isn't London the
Oh.
final this year?
Maybe.
I think it might be.
O2
I need to
Arena
pull up.
is where
Yeah,
the
that's. I
grand finals is.
think that's London.
But the O2 in London.
Yeah,
Probably.
Damn.
yeah, we should go.
We might have to relocate the Chalkcast HQ to Korea. I'm with you, Panic Attack. At
I'm
this
with
rate,
it.
I mean, we just keep getting sucked back in there, don't we? Excuse my my language there, but it just feels like we're just getting drawn through back to Korea ever since we've been.
All
I've been
lines point
thinking
to
about it.
Korea. Yeah,
All
they did lead us back there again and again.
except Rocket League. Not much going on.
Yes, for Rocket League, it's a shame, honestly. Like
Rocket
Rocket League is probably the most mechanical game. Koreans are the most mechanical pro gamers, so it's made for them, and they don't have it. It's kind of insane. I feel like
That's weird. Yeah.
yeah, it's been long
You could
enough
do
now
it,
that we
Daz.
should have it there.
With GenG, you could be the pioneer.
Bring
you'd
Rocket League to Korea.
That's a good
What
vlog.
is that's a good question though. What is the reason? There's probably a really public and known reason why that's not a thing. Why is Rocket League not a thing in China and Korea? You can't play it even. It's not like people choose not to play it. I believe you just can't download it, right?
It's not available.
Well, no, there's.
So
Well, I don't know if it
why?
got shut down, but there's a whole different client in China specifically.
Oh, is it like a
Well, that's
legit
because
thing, or
of-
is it like mobile bang bang League of Legends like scam game or whatever that was? Like,
Yeah, mobile
is
bang,
it like
yeah.
bang
No,
bang Rocket League?
Yeah, no, that game was a complete ripoff of League. No, it's
no, with a
it's
massive
pretty
prize pool
similar.
at Gamers 8, by the way, or Esports World Cup or whatever it's called.
Oh,
Like that game
apparently it
had
got
like
shut
a
down.
4
Never
million
mind.
prize pool.
I guess the Chinese client doesn't exist anymore. It probably had 6 players and they just gave up. So I don't know. I played it. I played on that client. It was
The Rocket League?
yeah, it was basically the same, except I just had a feeling that I wasn't playing against any Chinese players. I think I was just playing against any other region, basically. Everybody was
Right.
just
Cool
with
though.
super high ping.
Didn't it have a
Oh.
cool garage. The Chinese
It
Maybe.
version.
did. It had like a
Yeah.
had like a mobile game garage, which actually looked really cool on the client, like on Rocket League. I think they
So-
should have made that into the main game.
Is that what it's like
Mm.
with League of Legends and stuff in Korea? Is it different? Like the client and the game and all these other like popular games
No.
in the West just
No,
the same?
this is usually like a China specific thing because of like the government regulations.
Right.
Right.
So I wonder why Korea ended up not having a Rocket League scene. The thing is though, like with Korean gaming culture, I think a lot of the games that, and maybe someone in chat will know better than me, but a lot of the games that get popular as esports in Korea are just the popular game that all the kids go home from school to. Oh, they don't go home; they go to like the PC cafe. They're just gaming together. Whatever game is popular in the PC cafes is going to be popular just as an esport. That's how like StarCraft started and League of Legends. Probably like Overwatch as well, if it's ever been big there. Any of those games, everybody's just playing at the cafe. I don't know if Rocket League would it work over there. Do the Koreans play any controller games? Because if they don't,
The
are they just gonna
APM
be
isn't high
KBM?
enough.
I think it'd be KBM gods. I'll be so vindicated if Korea finally gets League of Legends or gets Rocket League and they just take over the scene on keyboard and mouse after like a year. They just get to the same level.
Yeah,
No way.
I'm looking at
You don't think so?
threads. It seems like it's like bad. They had bad servers and the game had bad translations. I'm looking at stuff like 5 years ago,
Mm.
like Reddit threads. I feel like
I-
it could be popular though with the right support.
I think if Rocket League was big in Korea, it would take. I don't think it would take them long to if like by popular I mean like it became a big server, like a MENA, SAM, NAEU, like a large population. I think OCE's population is probably too small for this to apply, but I think if it was like a bigger population, they could get really good really fast.
Yeah.
Because they just have a culture of grinding games out there that doesn't exist in Rocket League.
I also feel like the promotion for that would be insane because they kind of go over the top with a lot of things. So I mean, I remember seeing like some like anime Rocket League YouTube videos a while ago. I was like, it was pretty cool. Cool if I could see more of those.
Apparently, it's something to do with South Korea having their own game rating system. It's not like PEGI or the ESRB, and some issue with getting it rated, so it can't be on their Steam store or something. And Epic Games have not got the game rated through the South Korean rating system. That seems a very silly and easy thing.
Seems like a bit of a oversight there that they could get money from. What about Fortnite? Is Fortnite the same? Just not a thing in Korea?
Oh, surely it is. Fortnite, Korea. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is.
If that's such a big market, it's like a huge gaming capital of the world, and all these companies they want money, right?
Yeah, I think it's just Epic Games aren't really balling with Korea. Seems like it's a lot of threads about it. So
yeah, I'm seeing like PUBG. They're playing a lot of PUBG instead of Fortnite, which is true. The scene is still big over there.
Speaking of PUBG, this is a random tangent, but that just made me think. I was in Melbourne boot camping once. Back in the day, one of my first boot camps with the boys, season 4, we're talking like 2017. We went to a gaming cafe and everyone in there was playing PUBG. And I'm going to tell you that 95% had hacks turned on. It was insane. Like the entire gaming cafe, this was when PUBG was peak, like 2018, whenever that was, like 2017. And everyone in the gaming cafe was hacking, like so obvious. Like they had the red boxes around every player and stuff. Yeah. Everyone was hacking. So what are we doing? Anyway, that turned me off PUBG because everyone was hacking. But
that's terrible. What the hell?
No, that really would ruin your experience of the game. Every time you just get like headshot from a mile away, you'd be like, he's hacking. Like nothing, even if it's just a good shot, you'd never believe it.
Yep.
It's a beauty of Rocket League. For now.
Yeah, nobody can cheat in Rocket League.
For now.
Hey, wait till Searbot gets unleashed. Oh my days, we're in big trouble.
Nobody's ever had any unfair matchmaking due to cheating, so that's pretty good.
No.
No, they fixed the DDoS thing. I saw an announcement when I launched the game the other day that DDoS have been not fixed, but they've implemented something to fix it, haven't they? They've done something. In Rocket League? They fixed the servers. Yeah, in Rock. So they're working on something. Credit to them. We're getting there. Anyway, another tangent. Let's have a quick chat about where myself and J-Boy just got back from. And that is the Esports World Cup. Yes, that's just wrapped up. And how long was that going for? 2 months? Eight weeks?
2 months or something between all the games.
When
we were there were still 4 games. Tekken was still happening. PUBG was still happening. Rocket League, obviously, and there was one other game as well. I can't remember. But there,
Street Fighter, I think.
Was it Street Fighter? Yeah, there was like 4 games happening at the same time. I think that's been the case throughout. There's just been multiple games happening, and it honestly, like, it made sense that their whole vision of making some club championship thing. When I saw that, I was like, what is going on? What is all this money? Like 40 mil or something club championship. But and seeing all the games at the same time in different arenas, are like they had what do you call it? What are games like PUBG called? I've totally forgotten the genre. But yeah, that kind of game.
Battle Royales?
Battle Royale, thank you. Yeah, they had a BR stage. They had like a smaller stage for games like Rocket League. They had a bigger stage for like a wider stage for 5v5 games and stuff like that. They had a small 1v1 stage for like the 1v1 games. It made sense. I was like, okay, I kind of see it now. This is definitely hype, especially for fans of multiple game titles. You could just go there and watch all the games. It's very cool.
I still think they had. What was that? Is it Honor of Kings? Is that the game? They had some random games that were playing for like 4 million.
They had Mobile Bang Bang.
Mobile
Legends.
Bang Bang.
What is
Legends. Mobile?
Bang Bang Legends is just a mobile like scam version of League of Legends.
This guy keeps saying it. Nobody understands what he's talking about.
No,
Mobile Bang Bang. Everybody thought he was
I'm probably
joking.
saying it wrong. Just look, Google Bang Bang Legends. Is it Bang Bang Legends?
Yeah,
Which
it's Bang
sounds-
Bang Legends.
No,
But they have
Mobile
Honor
Legends
of Kings, which
Bang-
is the exact same. Two
It's
MOBAs,
Mobile
5v5.
Legends. Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Sorry, not Bang Bang Legends.
I mean,
Bang
same
Bang
thing.
Legends.
Pretty close.
Which is
Not Bang Bang Legends. Sorry, don't Google that, kids. Google Mobile Legends Bang Bang. And you'll see it's just like
as
a total
bad.
rip-off of League. But this thing had like a 4 million prize pool. It was dwarfing the Rocket League competition. Made me think like, man, is there going to be like some mobile scam version of Rocket League that we can, hop onto in the future?
Besides what?
Well, that's the legit version. But I would love the China, since we don't have Rocket League in China and Korea. What about we just get like some Rocket League Bang Bang, like a game? That would be cool.
Rocket League Bang
Why
Bang.
would that
Yeah.
be cool? Why in any world would I want to rip off Rocket League?
Because then it could just
Why-
have like a $6 million prize pool at the next Esports World Cup, and we
Okay,
can
that's
cast
a
it
good
'cause
point.
it's the
No, I'm
same
actually
game.
in.
Like,
No, I'm in. No, you convinced me.
I'd love to be sitting in the meeting where they discussed what to call this game and how on earth they got to Bang Bang. Like they just threw Bang Bang on the end. They're like, well, it's a League of Legends, so we're gonna put Legends
all
in
right,
there. Obviously,
Mobile
it's a
Legends
mobile game.
makes sense. Nah, it's not really jumping off the screen though, is it? It's not really like speaking to me. Let's just bang bang. Let's add a couple of bangs in the end. Now we're talking. Explosive.
A couple of
got a bit
Bang
of
Bangs
punch.
changes everything.
I think
It
it's
does.
a-
Honestly, it's catchy.
does.
It's
It's
catchy.
a big game though. It's like it's a huge game. It's probably bigger than Rocket League because it's big in Asia, right? So there's more people in Asia. Therefore, it's probably bigger than Rocket League.
Mm.
But yeah, lots of game titles like that. Lots of these random games you never heard of, and then also just all the big games as well. Whereas
Yeah, so
EWC.
we got obviously the tail end. We were the final game. I think we were the very final game to finish up.
We were the
We
last
won-
game to finish. In fact, on the final day, the Crown Prince himself was going to be coming to the closing ceremony, which was happening in the same building as Rocket League. So they told us that if Rocket League wasn't finished by 6 p.m., they were going to pull the plug. They don't care. The
Which
security
would've been
details coming in.
What?
So
Game
funny.
Game 7 overtime.
When did they finish?
Doesn't matter. It finished at 5:15, and we were out of the building at 5:30. So we were
Oh
like
my God.
close. We were like one technical difficulty and a
they
couple
just went-
overtimes away from like
That's
just
all
the
good.
plug getting pulled
One
in a
extra
game 7
long
OT.
pause.
They'd be like, no, it's about to finish. Just they don't care. Like it's Crown Prince's security is going to come in, and they are not taking any instructions from anyone. They're just going to pull the plug and kick everybody out.
Yeah.
Like
It
monkey
was,
who? Get out of the building.
It was certainly pretty hectic on that Sunday, as you said. It was like closing ceremony. There were people coming, and the security was just nuts. We were basically locked out of the entire building for the start of the day. You weren't there, Johnny, but it was hell because
Yeah, I
people were
heard of
just
this.
waiting outside, and it's like 50 degrees, and people were basically. I think
Oh,
one person in production was
didn't-
like passed out or something because it was so hot.
Oh, so you just got locked out with no water. I mean, that's dangerous. You sweat so much in the dry heat in these countries that you need to drink like an absurd amount of water, and you never pee. You just sweat all the hydration off. But wait, didn't Herc, didn't Elise
Herc-
nearly get arrested? What
Yeah,
happened?
Herc nearly got in some trouble over there. So the security for the final day just got amped up. There was checkpoints everywhere. You're talking like shoes off, belts off, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just
And Herc rocked up, and
passports,
she was
full
wearing. I don't know what sort of shoes they were.
They
They
were
were
just
kind of like
platform heels. They're like really
just
big
like
platform heels. 'cause she's
not
4'1",
heels. No.
for sure.
She was wearing just sneakers. Like they were kind of like
Oh,
Yeezys,
she had
but they were just
Wait,
boosted
it
sneakers.
wasn't her black heels. I thought it was a black.
No,
black
no.
heel shoes.
She was just
Oh.
wearing like boosted sneakers.
Okay.
Sort of setup, and so she went through there. She had to put them through the scanner because they were going off, and she put them through the scanner. And those kind of elevated shoes have a metal plate in them, and the way that it was set up that it looked to them at least in the scanner was they were like crossed over. It was basically like two metal plates crossed over to give it that lift on the platform sneaker. And the guy scanned it and was like, "She's got knives in her shoes." And all of a sudden, like 3 other guys came over, like, "Oh my god, this girl's got knives in her shoes. She's trying to smuggle some knives into the EWC." And Herc was obviously like, "Oh, what? Wait, what? What do you mean? They're like, you've got knives in your shoes." They pointed to the screen and showed her what it looked like, and she's like, "No, that's just like the plate. That's like the brace support, whatever, for the bottom of the shoe." And so then there were basically 4 guys debating whether she's got knives in her shoes. And the talent manager was like trying to help her out, like, no, like she doesn't. And then Herc was saying, "Oh, well, I actually wore them last night to the Esports Awards, interviewing, all these important people. So it was fine then," sort of thing. And then eventually they basically talked themselves out of it and said, "Nah, she's probably right." But yeah, she was close. They shut down the whole thing to.
That wasn't the
Nah, there's
actual,
probably
you know,
not knives in her
security.
shoe.
That was just like the regular event security. So can you, or I think it was like, you know, they were on high alert because they know the crown prince is coming. But if that was like the actual, I think she was done for. She's just like, gone. Herc, nah. They'd be like, oh yeah, you saying that you wore these at Esports Awards? That's an admission of guilt. Take her away. She's got knives in her shoes. And they open them up and like, oh no, it's just a platform. Sorry, our mistake. She didn't get taken away though. She got to work the event, which is cool.
Yeah,
But
so
the
that
language
was
barrier was
hectic.
not helping. I mean, there was a bit of a language barrier with a lot of the security people. They're not. We don't speak Arabic at all. They don't speak a lot of English, so it was a bit confusing. One of them would one of them would like call your name, and then you walk forward, and another one would be like, "Wait there!" I'm like, "He called my name, and he doesn't understand what I'm saying." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, this is good." So try not to get in trouble. But hey, we did it. We finished the show with like 45 minutes to go. Got out with 30
Nice.
minutes to go.
Yeah, so Sunday, the security was probably, I'd say, too good on the Sunday in that they were really overthinking some things. But outside of that, the security was like, you know, I think we've had some concerns in our OCS lands. There's certainly been some lax security. We've just seen random people in the talent lounge. Remember from like
that's
London
something we
stuff
could
like
learn
that.
from. Yeah, there's just random people walking backstage in other like previous RLCS lands that we've been to. We're like, who is this person? They've just walked backstage and the security haven't even stopped them. If they just
Yeah.
confidently walked in, the security is like, it's probably fine, you know. But like anywhere you walked in this one, you had to scan your lanyard, which I was like,
Which was
that's
linked
cool.
to your
Yeah, and
passport,
when
ID, everything.
when their machine would scan
Yeah, that's
it, a
kinda
photo
cool.
of you would
That's
come up
cool.
on their machine, so you could see ID that is in fact you, without having to look look really closely at your photo, which was on the lanyard. So yeah, it was good. I like the high security a lot more than like who is that backstage who has just walked through it, don't know who they are, nobody knows who they are. They could just be anybody. It's a bit scary when that happens.
But you know, the production was fantastic. We had Jimmy, obviously. We have good stuff as well. Daz, you'd know for content. So we got the crew back together. I guess
That's sick.
the EFG guys. So that was cool. And Jimmy was directing and help producing and all that kind of jazz. So it was cool to hang out with people that formerly were involved in running the RLCS pre-blast. And yeah, it was cool to kind of catch back up with them, do some content, and yeah, overall, like from a production standpoint, it was pretty bang on. I thought if anyone watched the event, pretty sure.
Did anybody see
pretty
CJ and
happy.
I's one in chat? We saw CJ and I painting. Did you see that VT? There's a YouTube video of it. If you missed it,
There is a YouTube vid. We'll have to link it.
Do you have a link?
I
don't have a link.
only saw a picture. I think on Twitter or something.
Yeah, I
fill
saw
it
a
up.
picture too.
Fill it
I
up,
think it
production.
was-
Fill up the final picture.
I think it was Johnny looking like a witch.
Whoa! I looked at him and I drew what I looked at, and that was it. Like it was. I mean,
1-for-1 replica.
This was some of the funniest content. I'll admit I was a little bit skeptical when I first heard about it. Gustav wanted me to, paint CJ to paint me, and we were like, all right, let's see what we could do here. This could be a disaster because I've never painted on a canvas like this. CJ, I don't think he's ever held a paintbrush in his life by the looks of things.
Whoa. I got the link here if people want to watch it later.
Yeah, have a look at that YouTube video. Save that to your watch list. This is so funny, genuinely hilarious. I want to see more casters and more production people do this.
That is quite the nose.
Yeah. It went green. I had a problem with painting. I don't know if anyone other experienced painters have a problem like I do, but I had a problem of just kind of I couldn't really clean my brush properly. So as it went on, I just had a mixture of browny green on every single palette. And I just couldn't.
I think you're supposed to have more than one brush. We just had one brush though, so it was tough.
Yeah, it was hard to kind of get that to work. But look, Johnny's look fantastic. And honestly, if you watch that video of us doing the painting, I thought I was doing a good job. And then if you see my honest reaction when Johnny showed me the masterpiece that he created, and I thought, oh my God, what have I done? And that's when I realized that I have the artistic ability of a 2-year-old. But I still think I won. It was a bit more abstract. There was a lot of attention to detail.
You know, if I could give my opinion on this, I feel like CJ, you are a modern day Picasso, but just not having the right tools. You know,
That's what
I
I'm
feel like if
saying.
you had one more paintbrush and one more water cup, you'd probably be in a perfect spot.
Yeah, look, Johnny's looks, it looks fine. Like,
Why-
well done, you drew me. But
Why
like,
was
look what I
Johnny?
did.
Why
I
was
went.
Johnny also in a car? By the way.
It's a good
That's what.
question.
That was the direction from Gustav. He
Okay.
wanted us to
Actually,
to
true.
have.
That was direction. Yeah.
He wanted us to draw each other in cars, and that's kind of what we did.
Okay.
But that was abstract. I was just
I
drawing
thought
happy
about
little trees.
pulling a Bob Ross and beating the devil out the brush, but I was thinking that might get on the cameras, which are expensive. I'm not going to do that because I might just make a mess. But it was fun. I want to see other casters try this.
Okay.
I don't think I'm even particularly good. There's probably like multiple casters who have oil painted before and will be much better than both of us.
Okay,
Love
so
to,
you guys
try.
had fun painting. Herc almost got arrested. I finished
pretty
at
much a summary there.
5:15. Deadline was 6 o'clock. But what happened with? Okay, from my perspective, okay, I usually wake up at about 6, 7 a.m. And even then, I was still missing a bunch of the games. I ended up not watching a lot of them. I only saw the quarterfinals because it was like they started at like 11 my time. It's like 11 to like 3.
Okay.
So those are the only games I watched. For somebody who didn't want to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch the finals and a lot of the other games, give me the rundown. Give me the gist of what went down. Talk to me about the gameplay.
Do I have a story for you? Outside of one special team, it was pretty one-sided, right? For the first couple of days, it was top seed winning everything. No major upsets except one team with the Great White Shark, one team from OCE, and that was the Chiefs. The story of the tournament, because the first round they come up against Gentlemates and they go to game 5. Yes, game 5. And the Great White Shark Joreuz just puts the team on his back and they beat the former major champs, the Copenhagen major champs, which was crazy. We were like, oh my goodness, this is Chiefs with Hunter and Kaka, for those that didn't watch, with Joreuz, a little sub for the event. I still don't know how that all sort of came about, but I do know that Joreuz has a brother in Australia, living in Australia. So I'm not sure if he was down there and they happened to play, or he just knew that Chiefs needed some. I don't know what happened. But anyway, the fact is that they subbed in. We had Hunter and Cax, who the previous major they were at in Copenhagen lost to APAC. So just to show you the insane swing. Yeah, they were swept by APAC. To show you the insane swing, they went 0-3 by Gladiators. That's right. And then to pick up Joreuz and then beat the major champs, we were like, well, hang on a minute. Hang on. Game 5, here we go. They're on the map. This is beautiful. And then they had to play Space Station to get a top seed through to the top 8. We're thinking, well, if they can beat Gentlemates, they can beat Space Station. Unfortunately, they go 2-0 down. They almost bring the reverse sweep to game 5. LJ scores a hat trick, so they have to drop down to the lower bracket. And then they have to play Gentlemates again. And I'm only talking about this group because this was basically the only interesting group that happened.
Whole group.
So they lost to Space Station, and now they've got to play Gentlemates in the rematch. And everyone's thinking, okay, the first time you beat Gentlemates, clearly a fluke. They weren't taking it seriously. They didn't know what to expect with Joreuz and Chiefs. They're going to win the rematch. Not only did Chiefs win the rematch, they sweep them again in the second time.
What?
Joreuz again popping off. It wasn't even close. They absolutely dismantled them 3-0 on the second time round, sending Gentlemates out of the tournament and creating or being the first OCE team to get top 8 in 4 years. So it was an absolutely crazy event. The Great White Shark got MVP.
Tell us the story
about as well.
Why is he called the Great White? Tell the story about this.
Oh.
I've forgotten it.
Sorry, the Great White. Now this got me as well because I interviewed Joreuz and he just kept calling himself the Great White. And I said, wait, sorry, what did you just call yourself? And he goes, the Great White. And I said, why are you called the Great White? And he goes, well, when he first joined the team, their boys, I don't know if it was the accent diff or something, but they couldn't say Joreuz. They were struggling. They were saying all these different iterations of Joreuz. So they just shortened it to Jaws. Jaws. So then Jaws, Great White Shark, and they just started calling him the Great White. So it is the best nickname in the business.
So good.
And that kind of ran with it the entire tournament. Everyone kind of hopped on the Great White bandwagon. And honestly, when you first hear it, I was like, "What a Great White! This is weird. Like, what kind of avenue are we going down here?" But they're calling him the Great White Shark after obviously Jaws, the movie. I'm sure you've all seen it. So, Yeah, crazy nickname. And honestly, full credit to him. He joined a team, fully integrated himself into that team and was hanging out with the boys. And I think it was massive for OCE. I know you can say, oh, well, they just won because they had Joreuz, but it's still if you
Whole
watch the
team,
games,
they played so well.
it was a whole team performance. He certainly elevated them, and he had some
he
pretty
won the
kind words
tournament
to say about him.
MVP. He got the MVP for the tournament, which when production told us we don't have to give MVP to the winner, like somebody from the winning team, we were collectively like, nice. And then you look at Chiefs' results without Joreuz, and then the results with Joreuz. Like, I mean, obviously he's the most valuable player. He's elevated them to a totally different level, where they're losing to APAC like a month and a half ago, and now they're beating Gentlemates twice.
Yep.
And putting up respectable games against teams like SSG, G2. They lost to G2 in a sweep, but in the playoff. But it was like a
all 1-goal games pretty
good
much.
Games.
Yeah.
Good games. If they'd won one of the early ones, maybe they could have made a series out of it. Probably would still lose in a best of 7. It's hard to upset a best of 7, but yeah, they played really well. Hunter and Kaka as well. So
and
big for OCE.
And so that was the massive story, massive for OCE. And I guess the other big story was, can Falcons do it? Obviously, they're in form. They're coming off second place at the major. Now they get the biggest home crowd advantage pretty much possible in Rocket League. It was the entire crowd going for Falcons and no one going for whoever they were playing. And they'd only show up basically for the Falcons game. It was absolutely insane. It was sold out whenever Falcons were playing. It was a full house. And they look fantastic. They were clearly, in my mind, the best looking team throughout the entire tournament, except for the grand final. And once again, we saw a Falcons that didn't really show up. TRK was pretty good in the grand final. He was a contender for the tournament MVP. But the Twins didn't really show up in that final. And yeah, obviously that was against BDS, who started terribly, by the way. I don't know if you watched this, but they played Power in the first series. They won 3-1. It was one of the worst quality games of Rocket League I've ever seen. It was just a whiff fest. People were saying, is this like an OCE top 8 match? Monkey Moon and FIFA were just whiffing everything. It was absolutely crazy. But credit to BDS. They just kept getting better as the tournament went on. They hung in there, and by the end of it, they were looking like they could win a world championships off it. So, yeah, pretty interesting tournament.
Yeah, big confidence boost for BDS and also GenG winning their first quarterfinal. I actually thought GenG were going to beat BDS going into that final day because GenG smoked Vitality in the quarter 4-0, and BDS had looked so dodgy all tournament. I was like, surely GenG win that, make the final. And honestly, I would have probably predicted GenG to beat G2 with NAS if they made the final. But then GenG just lost. I was like, what's happened here? Because actually we were stuck in traffic. We missed most of that series. We were on our way to the venue. I missed that whole series when it was happening live. So I just arrived and BDS are on match point. I'm like, what has happened here? This is not what I thought was going to happen. Yeah, I think still a confidence booster for GenG and BDS. Obviously BDS, but GenG as well to win against Vitality like that is big. And Vitality, hey, they're looking a bit rough. I saw Dazerin like desk slamming multiple times on the stage, which was entertaining, but not a good sign for that team in a 4-0 loss to GenG to have,
Wow, I'm surprised I never saw that. I feel like that would have been clipped or something.
Yeah. It didn't really make the round, so it's kind of curious. I didn't get seen by more people, but I'm pretty sure that happened. I didn't make that up, did I? Was that AI Zen? Did I get baited?
It's huge though that we've had. Obviously, there's been a massive gap between London and World. It's actually huge that we just do get an event now because it just creates a bit more, storylines. Right now, if you just take face value off that event, Vitality look like they're in the bin. Gentlemates look like they're in the bin. Furia have lost their edge. They don't really show up much at all. They got swept by Falcons in the quarterfinal.
They got annihilated by Falcons.
They got smacked by Vitality. Oh, not smacked. It was close. It was a 3-1, but they just scraped through over Twisted Minds in Game 5, but they don't look like that team that, is going to be able to win an event right now. And basically BDS looked terrible, and then they got better and better and better, and now they're looking fantastic. Falcons still look great. And G2, without beast mode, looked so good. NAS, something about the M80 players breaking up and being super subs was pretty incredible. So G2 still look great, but I mean, we saw this before with EU. You remember the 2022 World Championships where BDS, came off the London Major. They lost to OCE. They lost to Pioneers. They lost to SAM, and then they won the World Championship. So, you could see the same thing with Gentlemates or, a Vitality. being able to step back up and respond in 2 weeks' time.
I think if Gentlemates have changed anything, if they've been like, practicing some new play style or something, and this was a test, they need to go back
Go
to
back.
the reset to factory settings. Whatever they changed didn't work because they were not anywhere near their usual selves, and that's like the team who looked like the most consistent LAN team on in RLCS rather in the majors.
Yeah,
Nah,
especially
not
this
the
year.
same this time. Yeah, they're just their play style, like for LAN, because online they were never that team. They have they haven't won a regional, but BDS, KC, and Vitality have. But on LAN they were the best. So
Yep.
maybe I don't know. Maybe they were trying to improve. Obviously, you always want to improve, make refinements. But I think they just got to revert to factory settings for Worlds. Go with whatever they were doing before, because that was not it. Losing the Chiefs twice, bad result for them.
Yeah, I was able to do the loser interviews as well, something I've never done before. Getting the elimination interviews, which was interesting. It was fresh. It was straight backstage as soon as the players got off, and I'm going to tell you, Gentlemates weren't too happy after they got swept. But Eversax was kind enough to jump on for an interview, and it's nice hearing, I guess, the raw, fresh emotion. And he basically said we had a game plan, and clearly we didn't do it. And I kind of responded, "Yep, well, I agree. Clearly, something wasn't going on there." But I don't know. There's something about EU, right? It's the same with BDS. You question Monkey Mood's mentality. You see the lean backs and stuff, but they keep performing. So even Vitality, they might be in the bin, or Gentlemates, they might be in the bin like, oh, chalk it up, world champs, and they can come out and win. Whereas I feel like if it's an OCE team or something, and the mental's chalked, there's no way we're going to be able to perform. But EU teams, even when it feels like the teams, they've had a really rough result, or they feel like the team's in the bin, or there's roster changes looming, whatever it may be, they still just show up, and they can still win. You can't really write them off. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
mean,
agree with that.
I was gonna say, just for my experience, talking with some of the EU guys, like either Vitality or even Gentlemates, after they've taken losses at events, it does feel like they recognize that, oh yeah, we lost, yeah, this thing happened, whatever it was the case, but then they immediately talk about, okay, now we win this event, or like I talked to Alpha after they ended up losing to Furia, and it's like, even me, I think I was talking to Archie. Me and Archie were like joking around about it because of how Alpha speaks English. And we're like, watch, we're going to walk up to Alpha and be like, what happened? He's going to be like, it's okay. We win worlds. Next thing we do is we win worlds. And I walk up to Alpha and that's the exact thing he says. So it's kind of funny because like that's literally how they operate. They're like, we tried to win. We cannot win. Now we win the next tournament. We win worlds. So they just immediately go to the next thing. Yeah.
So the loser interviews are cool. I hope we do more of those in the future for Rocket League. RLCS should do them. I like the fact that they were not live; they were recorded. That gives the players a little bit more comfort to not have to worry about some cringe answer, because I know they're going to be a bit sensitive about that, which is fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But it was also cool that they were not in front of a bunch of people. It was more like private, not as much pressure on them. That was good, and we got some really good loser interviews. Alpha did one, didn't he? After losing
Yep,
Fury?
Alpha did one. He was very flat, but it's just good to see the emotion, and just because often you just see Dan did one. He was happy though. I think
Dan, Jack, and Alpha, they all did good loser interviews. So shout out to them. I do want to say, it's nice to hear from the coaches in Rocket League. I'm not trying to say that I don't want to hear from them, but I feel like loser interviews should always be the players, because the coach will never be. I mean, they're going to be emotional about it, and there's going to be some true emotion on show. But no, it won't be the same as the players. And that's really like what the product is supposed to be. Like when you compare, like imagine we didn't get a player loser interview from Gentlemates as an example when they went out.
I tried.
If we did, tried, but they weren't having it. But I wish they did, because now imagine we had that. One of the Gentlemates players came on, gave a loser interview, and then Worlds, they go do really well. Now suddenly you can show those back to back in a VT in the future. It's the comparison of like the sadness of losing versus the hype of winning. That's what makes like a story relatable. It's what will make fans interested in teams, players, orgs. It's you've got to be with them the whole journey. If they just all disappear every time they lose, it's not relatable. Nobody can like follow that. It's like, oh well, they lost. Now we're not going to hear from them for a week. Now, maybe they did something on their own socials or Gentlemates or whatever, but point is, yeah, I want to see more players doing loser interviews because they got to realize it's good for them, even if it might not feel like
give
it.
them some
It's
time to
definitely
cool
good.
down. Let the recorded
Yeah,
interview.
Sorry, what are your thoughts on loser interviews?
The recorded interview backstage. That would have
Yeah,
been
you feel
nice.
comfortable?
Maybe not 30.
Yeah, I'm not.
30 seconds.
Hey, I'm not trying
20
to throw anyone
seconds
under the
right after you
bus.
lost. Maybe
Yeah,
not in
with
front
a
of
guy you don't
everybody.
know.
I don't know. Maybe the
Yeah.
emotions might be high immediately after. So like, give it a break. Let them walk backstage, get a little frustration out, and then do the interview. I think it would be a pretty good thing.
Yeah, you
I
come
think
out
just do it
after.
live on stage.
Yeah, I think like a raw emotion, especially just bringing up things like potential roster moves. Like, I feel like you should just get it all out there while it's fresh, like right in the mind. You just lost, your
soon
season's
as the
over,
ball
and you
hits the
might be
ground.
I want to
LFT.
actually see confetti coming down for the winning team, and then having the mic in the loser's face.
Yeah,
Personally,
in
I
the
think that'd be
face
really
as the
good.
ball's dropping on 0 seconds. What are your thoughts on that one? Just straight away.
Oh, you could have
That
saved that. You
is-
think you could have had it?
Peak content. No, I always say though, it's a part of the game, and also all the players, going from doing those interviews, everyone's happy to do one when you win, but it's a part of the game. Sometimes you got to do one when you lose as well. It's just you ride the highs, you ride the lows, and
you
people
gotta realize
want to see
you're
it.
part. Yeah, you're part of an entertainment product, and like the entertainment is like
Is watching your
when people
downfall.
can relate. Yeah,
It's
it's
watching your
watching
downfall.
watching your reaction to losing, but no, it's watching the emotions. That's what's entertaining. If there was no, that's why we want to watch LANs, because you can actually see the emotions. You can see how much it means to people, the excitement, the joy, the sadness. Like that's why we watch. If it was just like everybody's anonymous online constantly, we didn't have any faces attached and personalities, it'd be really boring. So like we need loser interviews. We need more chances for players to just express themselves. Off the
Yeah,
pitch.
it goes a
Shout out
long
to
way.
Daniel, Jack, and Alpha. Sorry if I missed any other good loser interviews, but they gave really good exit interviews.
Banana Heads was fantastic.
Banana Head, yeah.
Very tilted. It's good to see that.
But they're good.
Yeah.
Like that is good content. It's like good in the future if you next
I think
time you
having
get
it
a
for the
big
future is
win.
good.
Yeah, it's good to have that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jorfinho. Shout out to him as well. He was the most willing. Like usually the players
yeah, I remember
okay,
that
I
one.
guess I'll do it. But Jorfinho, like W mindset, he was like, yeah, looking forward to it. I can enjoy myself now and that kind of thing. So
That's good.
he was really good. He was already looking to worlds and stuff like that. So yeah, well done to him. But it was a nice little access, something different. The other different thing we had as well, Daz, I'm not sure if you saw. Firstly, we had Mr. Achieved, the mind of Rocket League. We had mid grand final timeout analysis with the telestrator with Achieved.
Ooh, how was
was
that?
beautiful.
Timeout, yeah. During the grand final.
We've been asking for it for years, but yeah, it happened. It was cool. I liked it.
It was functional.
Yep.
It was swift, straight onto it.
I
It was-
I definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, it was so funny when I was doing a telestrator segment on the second semifinal, and we had 2 death segments, one before the series, one after, and the one before, our producer just says in our ear before we go live. Remember what we told you at the start of the stream, by the way? We said that we've got to be done by 6. Absolutely no way we can go on any further than that. So semifinal 2, I just hear from our producer, all right, guys, we're coming back from break. We're going to have 60 seconds. And then we throw it to the match. We're like, what? 60-second death segments. The Leafs like, welcome back. I'm with James Bott and Johnny. James Bott said 1 sentence. I said 5 words. Then Leaf threw it to the match and we were done. I was like,
Oh my
wow.
God.
All right, what a death segment. And we came back and afterwards it was the same thing. They're like, right, Johnny, fastest telestrator of all time. Go. I was like, yep, here's a circle. Here's another player. I put a circle around him. Anyway, that's the goal. Back to the desk. No
That's the
time.
goal.
That's the goal.
That was pretty much it. I was like, oh, for goodness sake, right? I've got no time here. Let's just speed run this.
Did
and
you
get on
do
to
a
the next
replay?
segment.
Like, did you even get a replay out?
Yeah.
or-
There was
Okay.
actually no replay. It was just all like, well, it was like a replay of a goal, but we just had the one playthrough of it, and then had to.
Oh,
move
so you
on.
only did one playthrough. It wasn't like a playthrough and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
let's watch it again.
I
It
think
was
I
just
did
one
2.
playthrough.
I think I like pressed play a second time while I was throwing to the next segment, but it was
so
not.
they could watch it in the background.
It had to be so fast. I was like, oh my days, this is pressure because they're just gonna pull the
Yeah.
plug if we overrun this show. So we've just got to cut everything. But we had to do it because like a lot of these segments were sponsored, so we had to do them. We're like, all right.
There's
quickly
definitely
do
someone
this,
at home
do
who's
this.
like, that was really short. I didn't.
Yeah,
That was a
wow, that was
fast
really
breakdown.
We're
bad
like,
analysis. I was like,
Finally,
sorry
no
guys.
Chocolate League.
But no,
Yeah,
the
the no
Chiefs
toggle
thing
league
was
people loved it.
the Chiefs thing was actually. We were in the arena when we were watching it. For some reason, I just took a video because I thought it was cool seeing a Chiefs' big head on the big screen, like on the jumbotron. I was like, oh, that's cool. A little cut for
Oh, that is
the grand
cool.
final.
Oh yeah, shout out
Yeah.
as well to
On the
Fancy, the
Jumbotron.
Arabic stage host. You guys who watched the stream probably saw him. He was co-hosting with Veracity. He was co-hosting in English this year. Usually, previous years it's been English and Arabic, but this time it's mostly just I think full English, and you do translation when necessary. But yeah, we came in for the final when we're like some of us were done. We just like went through to the final to see if we could watch. And of course, there's no seats in the house. Falcons have got all the fans, full house. We can't get in, so we just went backstage. And then somehow Fancy managed to swindle us like VIP. So he's like, got you guys best seats in the house. Follow me. And we just followed him up to the VIP top row.
Oh,
that's
that's
where
sick.
CJ got that photo. So yeah, shout out to Fancy, the Arabic stage host, legend.
It was so weird on the Sunday as well. It's just random people. Like I went backstage, so obviously I was doing the interviews, and during the grand final, I go backstage, and Ethan and Toby from the Sidemen are there just watching on a screen. I guess they weren't allowed to sit down either.
Yeah, there's no seats for anyone.
Because we tried to sit, I tried to sit in the crowd, and I got kicked out. Basically, because it was sold out and it was ticketed only, there was actually no section for players, talent, or anyone. So I was sitting there with my badge, and they're like, "Do you have a ticket?" And I was like, "No." They're like, "Yeah, you got a badge, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, you can go watch from behind on the TVs."
Yeah,
we need
GenG
we need to get ticketed people in.
GenG, who lost the semi-final, were like, "Yeah, you guys can't stay. Get out." They're just like, they lose the semi-final. They're not allowed to stay and watch the final because there's no seats. There's just so many Falcons fans buying tickets and literally nothing left over. But yeah, they probably should have had a little section for the eliminated teams, families.
So there's like this one screen backstage, and Musty's watching it with like the Sidemen and stuff.
Yeah, Musty on the Sidemen.
Have to watch it backstage.
Booted out of the venue.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
anyway,
really cool.
that was EWC wrap, I guess. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, NAS stocks way up, Joreuz stocks way up, BDS stocks up, but also
OCE stocks.
Yeah, Kaka and Hunter stocks up.
Power
Falcons,
stocks.
Okay, so going
best team in the world until finals, and they're not even top 5. Not sure what else.
So going from this to Worlds, like how much weight would you put on the results at EWC? I think you can't really judge, I guess, like G2's results, I would guess.
Yeah,
they don't have their player. But going from everybody, like, yeah, how much weight do you put into all the results that we saw on the weekend?
I'm not sure. I think that I'm confident that G2 and Falcons are both going to be good at Worlds. I'm confident they're both going to be very, very good teams.
Agreed.
Making it to most likely top 4 as a minimum. But who else is in that top 4 is up in the air, because will Gentlemates just revert back to their RLCS version of themselves and be insane? Will BDS be able to maintain the farm? Honestly, I don't know. Because Gentlemates lost so badly that could go any direction. They could just continue on that downward spiral, or they could just, get a reality check and be like, nah, our other play style was better. Let's do that. No idea. The EU's up in the air, but G2 Falcons, I have faith in G2 and Falcons both being very strong.
Yeah, I think Falcons, even though they've lost again in a final, I don't think they really. I say they don't let it get to them, but then they keep losing. But I still think that they can. It'd be a good story, and I can just feel them like it feels like they're going to win Worlds. I don't know why. Like their peak is still ridiculous. If you talk to any team that scrim them, play them, they are just their eyes. You can see it in their eyes, like the fear of playing Falcons. Like, oh my god, these guys are insane. They're so quick. Actually, I saw. I don't want to say which twin I saw because they didn't have their jersey on, and I'm not going to just say I saw Roas or Kiliz.
It was Roas in the hotel, right?
Was it Roas?
Yeah, that was Roas. You challenged him for 1v1, right?
No. This is a different time. So this is after they've lost the grand final. They're back in the hotel, which I don't know why they weren't at the club championship Falcons final, but I guess they didn't win. So, but anyway. He's back at the hotel and he's got a bag of Uber Eats or whatever delivery with food. And obviously he doesn't have great English. And they've just lost a grand final, like his 3rd grand final loss, I guess. He's carrying his bag and I tapped him on the shoulder and I just said, is that for me, like the bag? And he's gone, no, for losers. He's pretty, they're pretty, I guess come to terms with it all.
They're
but
quite
didn't
wholesome.
seem too
I mean,
down.
I saw them pretty soon after the loss back at the hotel as well, like as soon as we got back pretty much, which was straight after. And yeah, they seem in pretty good spirits. I don't think they're going to be a team who get like tilted at each other because of that, which is important. Some teams will lose and get tilted at each other, and then the team's mental's in the bin. They never bounce back. But that's not the vibe I get from this team. I think it's just like something they've got to work through. But they do seem like they're still absolutely backing each other and backing themselves as a team to figure it out. So yeah, that's kind of why I think they're still going to be very strong. Because until the grand final, I'm probably predicting them to win. I can't see myself predicting against Falcons until the grand final. Then, depending who they're against, I could definitely be picking against them.
Well, what teams in the grand finals would you think that they have like a great chance versus?
Just other teams who've not been in a grand final this season. They'd probably have a good chance if GenG managed to make a final. They've not been in one for a while, so they'd probably be a bit quickie. Also, Falcons have a really good record against them. If they played Furia again in the final for the first time, I'm sure they'd be very confident. Falcons, I mean, there's some teams like that are top 8 in the world that Falcons are really, really seemingly strong against, and I would probably back them in a final to beat. But yeah, teams like G2, BDS, Gentlemates. Not sure. I would probably go for G2, BDS, or Gentlemates in a final against Falcons right now. Not sure about KC though. KC is a big question mark. Vitality is a big question mark. Like there's some other like it's not just Falcons who have been a bit like, whoa, what happened to them? A lot of teams are kind of in that category right now.
I don't know what you think, Daz, but I'm nearly more confident in G2 now with how they perform with a sub. Like they got top 4. They still look pretty good against Falcons in that game and did not scrim once with Nas. I think like the form that Den and Atomic are in is nuts. So I'm nearly more confident the fact that they can play with a random guy. Not a random guy, but obviously pick up Nas that they've never played with before and still like implement him into their play style seamlessly and still look that good. So I don't know. I'm pretty bullish on them too.
I think it just shows how well or like how strong Daniel and Atomic are individually. Because I mean, we've seen them play with different people over the course of their careers, but they've always kind of been consistently up on that level. But we've not seen NA win in so long that we haven't really kind of put like a ray of light on it. And then now you see, G2 after they win an event and they're number 1 in the world and they're in this situation. Now again, it's putting a little bit, I guess, more eyes on Daniel and Atomic individually, but then again, Nas fits in perfectly, and it kind of does show like that G2 mentality and the play style over there, how easy it is for somebody to kind of fit into it. So yeah, I agree. I think I would be even more towards G2 going into the World Championship, considering that they were able to do it without beast mode, or able to at least look as good without beast mode. Then when they get beast mode back, they're going to still be kind of like ramping up into that form. So yeah, I agree.
Wait, so you're saying your expectations of G2 are even higher now than after London? Or
I mean, I would probably keep them the same. They're the same, if not higher. Yeah, the same, if not higher. Because I mean,
really?
I'm going into Worlds expecting G2 to be top 4 minimum finals. I mean, it's hard for me to say finals because it's been so long. I feel like EWC is a way now we're seeing people kind of warm up and get back into form, because I know for sure players definitely did take a break in this month's time. So now you're starting to see people get back into the game, and we see EWC, we see what that looks like, and people, like we said, GenG doing well, getting past quarters. Now I'm starting, I don't know, I always feel iffy about GenG. Going into an event, I'm always like, I love GenG. They're going to do so good. Even when London, like I felt like, man, they probably could win this event, and then they lost. So I'm just going through the same motions with them. But in terms of G2, no, I'm very, very confident. They would be my favorite going into this event, into Worlds.
I'm interested that you're more as confident, if not more, because the way I think about G2 right now is the fact they played this event without beast mode. I can't rationalize that being a boost to their rating or their virtual rating, whatever I have in my head.
I think
feel
it's
like
more
they've gotten worse or same. They can't be better. There's no way it could be better if they didn't play with beast mode. Every other team.
What I saw though,
playing.
I
like what I saw from them, but like, there's no way that they've gone up in my estimation. Is what I'm saying.
The way I think of it is
had them. Go ahead, CJ.
I was going to say the way I think of it is, talking to Sathu is they didn't just, bring up a player and then say, hey, Nas, you go do whatever you want to do. Or the other way, Nas, you just play around them. They fully integrated him into the G2 playstyle. So I think it's just another feather in the cap to G2's playstyle and how they want to play, that they can, bring someone in and they can still look not just as good, but right up there. So I think that, the way the G2 has been playing, with their core lineup is kind of validated by being able to bring someone else in and still look just as good and they were so solid, how they were playing. So that I don't know, it gives me a little bit more confidence in when they do get the full lineup that they're going to be, I can just back them in even more, I guess. But I understand the beast mode low
concern
hours.
at all, though, the fact that beast mode, low hours, not playing with the team for a while. It's like a week.
That is the concern from the team as well. Talking to Sathy, that they need to get beast mode back on the game. But it's been a little bit of a problem, I think, amongst. I was even talking to First Killer, and he said his hours have never been lower. He was happy to say that as well. So I don't know if it's just a plague amongst the competitive amongst the pros at the moment, that people aren't really grinding anymore, or they can't bring themselves to get up to that. Everyone had 100 hours at one stage. Now I feel like 60's really good. Like everyone's kind of sitting around 40 at the moment. Not sure there.
I just feel like that'll ramp up though. Like this is the time where it ramps up. I know teams are already scrimming. Literally the teams were scrimming today. So I feel like that will change, and there's time for it to change when you think about it. And then this also goes back into the conversation of how much do you weigh EWC? Because if players are going into that event with low hours and then just kind of hanging out and then playing to kind of get back into the swing of things, and then now they're starting up scrims and getting their hours back up, then it's like, okay, how much can we take this information that we have and put it towards how we think a team's going to do at the World Championship?
But I mean, you say already scrimming, like it's, really early, but Worlds is in, what is it?
2 weeks.
12 days or something. Like this
3
isn't a good
weeks
time
from
to start
today.
scrimming. 3 from today? Is it?
Oh wait,
no,
no, 2 from today.
2.
My bad. Definitely 2 from today.
2 from yesterday, Tuesday.
Is it we start on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, so it's like 13 days. Like I hope they're scrimming. That's not a lot. Like
yeah,
two
that's
weeks
true.
is
That's
not a lot.
true. That's true.
It's like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's quite a short window. It's not like a huge, because if you run into issues in scrims where you're just having like a couple of days where everything's going wrong and you're losing, there's not a huge amount of time to like fix it. And scrims aren't everything, but they are something. Like they can give you a lot of confidence, or they can kill your confidence. So I've not heard any like results or scrim rumors or anything like that yet, but we'll see how they're doing. But yeah, if G2 aren't, if they show up and they're just cold from the start, I think everybody's going to say, oh well, of course they didn't play with Beast Mode at Esports World Cup, they weren't scrimming with them for a whole week. Everybody will use that as an excuse. So we should probably talk about it preemptively as a possibility. If it does happen, we could be like, "Oh yeah, that thing that we talked about."
I think everybody will use it as an excuse.
Nobody should have an excuse.
Everybody's gonna say that.
I won't say everyone. I know someone who might, but I'll say
if G2 are in like the lower half, if they're in the lower half of AFL bracket, then everybody's gonna be saying, "Hey, listen, if they played EWC with Beast Mode, this wouldn't happen. They'd be in the upper half with 2 lives." Like it's just, that's gonna be a discussion. So we might as well start it right now, because if that's what we're gonna talk about, if they end up in that half of the bracket, why not say it right now?
There is only one team who truly deserves that excuse, and it's actually the new team that's going to the World Championship. We talked about it last week, how there were 15 teams in the World Championship, and it just got announced yesterday or the day before, I believe. Oxygen has been invited to the World Championship, and a lot of people were confused or sad because it was an RMC or complexity.
Last chance qual. We
were fighting for last chance qual. It didn't happen, but Oxygen got the straight invite because Europe claimed more points at the majors throughout the season. They just got higher placements than any other region. So Europe got the additional MENA seed that couldn't make it. They asked the MENA second seed if they could make it. They said, nah, not doing it. They asked the third, then the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. All the top 8 teams except for Falcons couldn't make it in MENA. So Oxygen ended up getting the invite instead. And yeah, I think that's the only team who might actually have the excuse. I took a peek at Archie's hours when he got the invite. He was at 3.9.
Oh, the
3.9.
decimal point is still a
Wow.
feature.
Yeah,
Uh-oh,
no,
right. It's okay. And
3.9.
I think at least 1.5 of those hours is last night with me and CJ.
With
We played
us.
some
Yeah,
US
it
West
actually
Ranked.
is.
We-
Wait, how is he only 3.9? Is he scrimmed once? Like, what are they doing?
No, it's
What?
probably not
I mean,
done
they
anything.
didn't
Probably
have a
because the season would have been
They didn't have a
over. Yeah.
season. He's
But,
And
probably,
to be honest,
3.9 though,
But-
like there's been a few days since then.
he's probably been playing Footy
What are we
Manager.
Wait.
No, I checked on the
Oh,
invite.
bro.
On the invite, he's good now. Now he's at 60. Okay, it's been 2 days.
Oh, okay. He's showing.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got me scared there for a second. Okay, he's
Yeah.
up at 60, so he's grinding AFK
Yeah.
hours in the menu. Let's go, Archie. Back at his little tricks again. We're not going to let that slide. But yeah, hopefully they're in good form. Was it the right choice? I think if you were just going to handpick a team to send to Worlds without any other games being played, they were probably the best option. Gibbs made a video saying that Complexity were overlooked for this. I've not had a chance to watch it yet, but does anybody have a summary of what his reasons were? I'm guessing it's something to do with like how close they were to like having enough points to get in, whereas Oxygen were a bit further away. But the truth is, the highest placing, well, EU4 at LAN placed on average, I think, 8.5 or something. Like eight, they were like nearly top 8 on average, which you can't say about any other region's lowest rated team. So if you're going to handpick a team, I think, yeah, they're the clear choice. RMC were the next from NA, but NA4 averaged 1 and 3 in both LANs, which is like 12th place or something. So it's not quite as
Yeah,
high rated.
greatest respect to the last NA team, but weren't really doing damage, Daz. I'm sure you agree with that. We just had kind of one NA team at most majors that were well, they got the win over a SSA or the APAC or whoever it was, and then they went home. So I'm happy with it.
that's
We
a
should
great
watch the
statement.
Gibbs video. We plan to, but is there a summary in the meantime for the purpose of the podcast?
John said he used the wildcard seeding formula from last year, and Cole would have been top seed. So basically, they had the most points and placement. Is that how it works?
Seeding, interesting.
Card.
Was-
That's interesting.
Because he used still with the. Yeah, how's that
Okay,
work?
so this in terms of global ranking, if we're talking every region in the world, they don't. Elevate has 97, and then Complexity and Chiefs both have 73. And so that is interesting, but I think it would have to do with major performance. So then maybe Complexity does well more in that category, which would allow them the highest.
I mean,
over
Complexity went
Oxygen.
2-3, the one major they played in.
Oh,
So-
what Oxygen? Oxygen also 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they both went 2-3. I mean, I guess Complexity over the course of the entire season, they did accumulate more RLCS points. They have 73 points. Oxygen have 66. So maybe is that the argument there? Is that one of the arguments? Complexity and
Yeah, I don't
Chiefs
really know how it
both have
works.
more points.
Is it just
Elevate
because they're
also have more
closer
points.
to the qualification spot?
Yeah, they
closer
missed
to
it
the
by
team that
3
qualified?
points. Oxygen missed it by 23.
Wait.
So there is that.
It's actually interesting too because they also have the same game differential as well.
The
Both
thing is,
Complexity
right?
and
So
Oxygen in those. Crazy.
So Oxygen were EU4 at the last event, and they outperformed Sam2, I believe. I think they did, because Sam2 they both finished 2-3 in Swiss, but Sam2 had a lower game diff. They were -6 game diff. Oxygen were even 0 game diff. So Oxygen did outperform Team Secret, who were Sam2, at the most recent major, and overall, between both majors, EU4 outperformed SAM2. So based on that, you've got to invite EU5 because the next best team in that region is more likely to be competitive. I mean, we can all look at it on paper. Complexity or Oxygen. They're probably both similar, but I mean, Cole had a bad split too. Let's be honest. That team was not trending upwards, so Oxygen literally made the major. I think it's a good choice. Given the situation, which is not an ideal situation, I think they've made a good choice. So I back it.
It definitely would be 100 times
have
worse
say in the
with
matter.
15 teams there. So I'm glad they made
Yeah.
a choice.
No, it's fine. Have EU send the 5 teams to North America. Now we can see what EU5 can do.
Yeah, what is
Yeah,
the likelihood
okay.
that Auction actually does some damage at the tournament? I'd say damage being making top 8. What are the odds they make top
Not
8?
0. definitely like
zero.
a decent chance. I think it's not like an amazing chance because there's like 10 really good teams at this tournament. You've got Furia Falcons, G2, GenG, SSG are all phenomenal. Then you've got all 4 of the all 5 of the EU teams. So yeah, it's like already 10 teams who are really, really strong. All battling for just 8 spots, top 8. It's gonna be tough.
I mean, they came into London and we were thinking, they could get top 2, could get top 4, and then they lost at power and bombed out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like they're just another team that wouldn't surprise you if they just were top 8 or further.
I mean, they were one game off top 8 last time. They got game 5 by Furia. So like after losing the power, they kind of pulled it together a little bit. Not really reached their peak, but yeah, they could definitely make a top 8. We could see 5 EU teams in top 8. Nobody would be surprised depending on the draw. But more likely there's going to be EU team kills because there's so many EU teams.
Yep.
Region kills.
I think one other thing to note as well, kind of relating it back to the Esports World Cup, is the home crowd advantage, Daz, of the NA crowd. I think even talking to Cassio, obviously the coach of BDS, pre-grand final against Falcons, he was already looking towards Worlds. He said this is going to be pretty good, I guess, learning experience or just overall experience from the guys, because we're going to not have the crowd at Worlds. And right now, well, this is the biggest, the home crowd disadvantage, I guess, for them against Falcons, because it was crazy. Like we're talking, you score a goal and no one would clap. Like you wouldn't even realize BDS have scored. There's nothing for the other team with Falcons. So, Furia even spoke about it. Trofino said it was absolutely crazy. He's never experienced anything like it. It was hard to get momentum or anything when you've got none of the crowd on your side. So it was cool to hear about that. For the EU teams, obviously aren't going to have that home crowd support or as much support as NA teams when they do have those matches. So maybe that outweighs the 5 EU teams. The lack of a home crowd.
That's maybe.
T-Base's Dream World, what you just described. Like
that is T-Base's Dream World. Unfortunately for T-Base's Dream World, that's not the reality. Like there will be NA fans. I mean, listen, there will be NA fans that clap and cheer and everything else like that. Like
I will say one thing though.
It may not be like super loud, but there will be people like that. Come on now.
Here, see, the crowd was super mega biased in Saudi for EWC. It was crazy. One of the most biased crowds I've ever heard. Like, unbelievably loud. We could barely hear each other talk when Falcon scored a goal or like did anything, or honestly, like at any stage, because they were all just chanting and cheering the whole time. And then BDS, like CJ said, score a goal, nothing, just crickets. But when BDS won it, a lot of the ultras, the Falcons ultras, actually stayed in the venue. They were, clapping for BDS. Falcons had long gone. They like left the venue. It's just BDS. They were doing the very extended trophy ceremony because there's such a complex trophy system, which I'm not going to go into. But yeah, they all stayed. I think Stumpy or Cole got it on video. I was glad to see that they didn't all just bail as soon as their team lost. They stuck around,
flashbang,
celebrated with a winning team. So well done, Saudi fans. Good. Respect.
Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, I think I assume we'll have something similar, but I don't know. I got some plans for Worlds. I'm trying to bring the NA pride back. I don't know if we'll see something similar.
Last time I poked a little bit of fun at some NA fans leaving. I tweeted out a video of some fans leaving when G2 lost 2 years ago, and there are so many butthurt replies on Twitter like, "I bought this ticket with my own hard-earned money. I can leave whenever I want." I'm like, bro, it's a joke. Like, calm down.
We don't even talk like that.
I just give I'm like, how are people getting upset about this? If anything, that it proves my point. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, there were still a few people stuck around. Not too many, but a few stuck around to celebrate BDS 2 years ago.
Yeah. There was
poor BDS. Last two wins for them, and they have to do it. They're not doing it at home. They're always like
they got a lot of like after. It was good vibes. Like they definitely, I think, got a lot of good vibes after winning. People stuck around for the whole thing just to see the ceremony and celebrate with BDS. Give them a round of applause. So they definitely would have enjoyed it. But yeah, all their wins have come. Like one of them was during COVID. Monkey Moon during COVID wins, so there's no crowd, and then wins in NA against the crowd. Wins in Saudi against he's never, like you said, never won in Europe. It's a shame.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Something about this Worlds though. home crowd advantage or not, it does get me excited that G2 in NA and they're looking like an absolute powerhouse. But at the same time, there's about 8 teams who could win Worlds. I don't know if I don't know. I feel like we say this every time, but I don't know if we've had a Worlds coming in where I've just been like, wow, there's so many teams that are on that level.
Yeah, this one's the closest by far. Yeah.
Yeah, and even with Oxygen added as well, there's, we don't really have easy beats. Obviously, there's no wild card this time, but yeah, there's a ton of we've got 9 teams, I guess, that could all win it. And you wouldn't, if you predicted them, you wouldn't be called out for it.
Yeah, you would be completely insane. It's like bold, but nobody would be like, okay, you're out of your mind. You've picked like Elevate to win Worlds. It wouldn't be like some completely off the wall, never happening pick.
But that's what keeps it exciting, though. That's what like this whole build up and lead up to everything. Like that Tuesday when the matches first start. I mean, everybody's gonna have their eyes like microscoped on these teams to see what they're looking like, and then we'll just take it and we'll just run from it. So there's a little bit of silver lining for the delay, at least in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think this is a great time to go to some Patreon questions. Any Patreon members, be sure to get your questions in the chat. I did tag in there, but we do have a few already lined up. And this one is, I mean, with Daz here, this is just a fantastic question that needs to be said, okay? If there was a First Touch versus Chalkcast best of 7...
Give the people what they want.
Who do you think would win? Rocket League, of course. Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League would win, to be fair.
Go and be honest, Daz. It's us.
You guys are going down. That's all we need to know. Listen.
How? Who? What?
What?
Well, who's gonna pop off when you're talking about T-Bates? You think Bates is gonna be able to clip on us?
I mean, listen, CJ. I just got finished playing with you and Johnny. I played against 2 of the 3 of the Chalkcats. I played with them as teammates. And listen,
170 ping.
Yeah,
all 170 ping. That's true. Listen, they did a great job. You guys got great defense, and I'm gonna be honest. CJ still kind of looks like a threat a little bit. He's being able to slide the passes left and right. I honestly think the biggest challenge might be Rizzo. Rizzo, what's your hours past 2? What are they looking like? Because that one's gonna determine everything.
That's dangerous. I can load it up real quick. Let me see the profiles loading. It's revving up. The gears are churning. We are currently at... I don't know. It just says last played yesterday.
Oh my God! Are you hiding the hours? This is unbelievable.
I found it.
Okay, what?
I had to scroll a lot. 3.3.
Oh my God! You're getting swept. You're getting swept.
We'd be in trouble. Okay, we'd be in trouble. Yeah, we need
on,
man.
He's gonna at least double that before Worlds.
Yeah.
So I think
we're talking about the team.
Sign him to Oxygen.
Yeah. No, listen though. CJ and I have just got done. We were grinding some Rocket League in Saudi. CJ went from like 0 hours past 2 months to I don't know what he's at now.
120 minutes past 2.
I was playing on a non-mechanical keyboard. It was beautiful, but we were just clearing the competition. What can we say?
Listen, I'll give you some credit. If it's me and Johnny on the kickoff, and Johnny does that fake that he always does, he's gonna get me every time. Because I'm gonna forget,
nice.
And then I'm gonna go for the kickoff, and I'm like, I gave it to him again. He's gonna have a free ball and be like, guys, get back. And if we get kickoff goal or scored on 2 or 3 times too many, the team around might go down.
Yeah,
so
T-Bates might just be tilted off the face of the earth. That's true. I think T-Bates mental could be the problem, the biggest
That'll
problem.
That'll be the key as well.
Yeah, the toxicity, he might just get a little bit carried away.
Apparently, you guys have the ranked advantage. Is that right? Do you guys have more MMR than us? I don't know.
I mean, I'd be pretty surprised. My MMR.
NA doesn't count.
I haven't been taking ranked that
NA
series.
doesn't count, but OCE does.
NA rank doesn't count. It's so easy to get ranked
Danger Taco. If any of you got Danger Taco stream last night, we were doing a little bit of Chalkcast US West 3s, and we were running into him and some of his ranked teammates at 1800 MMR. We finished off a 3-1 record, not too bad, with a combined 400 ping.
If Bates starts a heavy sigh, it's chalked. I'm not gonna lie, literally chalked. They're gonna get so tilted. They got no mindset. Like if that happened, you're in massive trouble. So I'm just gonna say it.
What's the chalk mentality like?
If that happens,
our
no,
mentality
it
is
doesn't
so
matter. If that happens, I'm I'm just shit talking the whole time. Like, I got nothing to lose at this point. Like, I'm not even gonna score a goal. I'm gonna hit you with like an on your head or something like that. You know.
I'm not gonna. If I see you do that, I'm locked in initially. If I get a goal on you, I'm standing up and yelling at you. My face is turning red.
My whole goal would just be to talk shit. I don't care.
Just TikTok dances in between games on him.
I always say how like players should do more content, and that's the one thing I regret from 4 years ago is not L dancing on the opponent, because that shit would have been crazy.
No, I am not getting L danced on by Rizzo. I'm not doing it. If so,
Hey,
if it ever happens, I would leave. I would leave.
Are you worried at all about like the on-stage experience that Shotcast bring to the table, Daz? Like the high pressure situation, you know.
It's been so long. I almost said what on-stage experience. It's been so long, but
I don't know.
But you know, CJ, I've seen CJ play in front of a crowd in that arena, and he didn't look that good.
Player.
That was nice. What are you, apart from the backflip against Switchy? I was looking nice. What do you mean?
Well, I guess it was overshadowed because I was still rooting for my general at the time.
That's true.
So for me, I just wanted them to win.
I'm just saying, like, you better hope it's not a best of 9, Daz. I'm a game 8-9 main.
My God, he is. We played in houses. We played in houses in Saudi, and basically actually W Talent Lounge, because we had PCs for the first time ever in a talent lounge. So we were just playing in-house sixes with all of the talent plus Marky Duda, because apparently Marky's just down to play Rocket League whenever with whoever to do anything. It's crazy. But yeah, we played a best of 9 series. It was James.
Well, it started off best of 5, and then it expanded.
Yeah, if you lose that, obviously you want to go the best of 7 and the best of 9. Yeah,
what
James,
was
Johnny,
your team again?
and Marky versus me, Stumpy, and Corelli. And it went to game 9. We happened to stumble upon the most even teams across everything.
We won the game 5, and you guys were like, best of 7. So we reset it to best of 7. You won 2 straight. Then we were like, best of 9. And we won 2 straight. Johnny put in
a generational game 8 and 9. It was I've never seen anything like it. He was getting bumped into air dribble, pre-flip shots, and all this stuff. It was ridiculous.
What can I say? I'm a game 8-9 player.
So they won that.
Non-mechanical keyboard, no mechanics in game. Like, really, it's just different.
All right, so I don't know if this one resonates with you guys, but last time I was in Dallas, I do not remember any place I went to, really. But if you guys have something, with Worlds coming up, what are some of the best spots to eat/hang out in Fort Worth? And is there any chance for a dinner meetup with the hosts at these spots? Now, actually, I'll answer the last one. We are trying to plan a Patreon meetup somewhere in Dallas, or sorry, somewhere in Fort Worth. Whether that'll be at a restaurant, bar, venue, we're not sure just yet. Probably venue, I would guess. But we are trying to plan something like that. So just as a heads up.
T-Base wants Daz for a Val 5-sec. T-Base, you need to get in Rocket League, bro. You're getting swept. Get on RL.
You need a month of Val.
Start grinding your.
Let's wrap it up, Bates. All right?
Start
Just
grinding your
down.
bot flip resets that look like genuinely my champ. Like T-Base is sending me like clips of him scoring the bottiest flip reset I've ever seen. I'm like, is anybody moving in this clip? Is this an image? Is this an image? Has he sent me a picture?
This an image is insane.
Us playing Yoli's in
Oh,
close
dear.
Bates. If we
League,
played,
T-Base,
you would just
Rock.
get so cool. Keep playing your Valorant. All right, keep playing Valorant. Get out of here. Best spots, Daz. What do you got for us? You're the best. You're the spots guy at any event. What have we got in Fort Worth?
I guess I am. But to be fair, this is definitely Wave Punk's area of expertise. If we're being 100% honest.
Oh no, the sweet potato fries.
Yeah, but also I think it's a little bit of ways away. But Terry Black's barbecue is always going to be one where people like that place. Mwah. But I think that one's actually
barbecue?
Yeah, there's one in Austin as well.
Yes. Yep. I think this one's actually in Dallas though, so you might have to go out of your way for it. Do you guys remember that spot that we went to for dinner that one night where we had like a long table and more people kept showing up and eventually we had like everybody there?
Was it the Argentinian or Brazilian barbecue? No, not barbecue, like
there's the Brazilian steakhouse. Fogo de Chao.
Steakhouse, yeah.
I think that's. I don't know if we went there in Dallas. I think we did.
Long table.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Like we asked them. Like we told them we had a bunch of people coming, and then more and more people kept showing up. But I think
that was more of a casual place.
Not twice. Yeah, it was definitely casual. I had like a White Sox jersey on. I remember I had a black White Sox jersey on. Space Man showed up late. And we
But
had a decent amount of
everywhere,
people.
literally, I don't think we went to a place in Fort Worth or Dallas that
No,
wasn't casual. Like
doesn't-
everywhere was casual,
Doesn't seem like
or
there's
it felt
a
casual.
there's a definitive
I
spot
definitely
here.
have pictures because I remember I took pictures. But I know it was in walking distance of our hotel. Not the place. Also, we should talk about the place where you guys had that crazy margarita.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Rita.
Rita!
the Megarita.
The Megarita. That spot.
Yeah, what was that place?
nice.
That
I
was
think
like
that
a
place
chain,
was called
no?
like Jake's or Jack's. There was like a burger
Oh,
restaurant
yeah,
named
yeah,
Jake's,
yeah.
I think.
But we're at a different hotel now, so we're probably nowhere near that place.
True.
Man, I gotta
Honestly,
figure
I don't
out.
think there was any crazy spot. I remember
there
we did go
wasn't.
for that Brazilian steakhouse thing was
Yeah,
really
that was
nice.
kind of nice.
That was Fogo
That
de
was kind of
Chao,
nice.
I think.
I didn't go
Good,
hungry
yeah.
enough though, because they kept calling me more food. I was like, I wish I was more hungry so I could like get money's worth here, but ate too much food during the day. But I mean, yeah, most of the places we went to were pretty stereotypical chainy kind of Texas barbecue or Tex-Mex.
We just try to go to a
vibes,
place that can
Tex-Mex
seat
mostly.
20. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Well, there was just Tex-Mex everywhere, and I was like, I asked some of the locals, I was like, hey, are there any like authentic Mexican places? And they were like, nah, you don't want that. That shit's that's
want
garbage. You want the Tex-Mex is way better. I was like, right, okay. Didn't ask. I just asked if we could get any authentic Mexican, but I guess the answer is no.
That
Guess the
shit's
answer's
garbage.
Guess I can't.
So there's no spots. We'll figure it out when we get there for
Yeah.
that one. Another one here, Rise's dad. How do you guys feel about the adjusted AFL format? Ladies and gentlemen, there
baby.
is now a tiebreaker to determine which is the fourth team out of the Swiss stage to get the extra spot, to get the extra life into the upper bracket. So now there is no excuses. Daz, are you looking confused? Have you seen this? You've seen this?
I have seen this. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm actually
That's okay.
playing
That's
a
okay.
game.
Oh, he's playing Valorant. Never mind. So
Guaranteed
there is now, that was the only caveat, that was the only downside, the only question mark about the format people had was, well, who gets, the fourth spot? It's all on game diff. It's a bit dodgy because 4, 5, and 6 will all be on the same win-loss coming out of the Swiss. Was 4, 5, 6? Yeah, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4,
Yep.
5. 4, 5,
3
6.
for 5. 3 for
So-
5.
3, 4, 5. There you go. So, yeah, because everyone will be 2 and 1. So, the 3 and 1. Yeah, 3 and 1. So that's been fixed. We're doing a little tiebreaker to determine who gets the extra spot. And now, there you go. There's no excuses. W format, best format. Can't wait.
Excited. Shout out Blast.
Very good.
Great change.
Yeah,
Proven to be
I like the
very good.
change. I think like
I love the on-fly changes as well. It's not like a change
Right.
after months of nothing, no comms. It's just like boom, change, done,
Yep.
fixed.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Shout out.
and instead of it being decided by game differential, you get like actual matches, and of course we all love watching more Rocket League, so I think it works.
Mhm.
Respect.
This one comes from Q, and it says, "Will you guys ever do a viewer call-in episode again?" That episode was so entertaining.
That was good.
We
That
will.
one
We
was
will.
yeah, I think we actually have to do that.
We
again.
will.
It has been way too long since we had done
We've not done one for a while because we keep on like having events happen, then we come back, talk about said event, somebody's away, and then we come back. We're like, okay, let's catch
Honestly,
up.
the
So we've
true
not had like a
off-season is
long
usually
time.
the best for that.
Yeah. A long stint where we're just like churning out live episodes week in, week out is probably when that's gonna happen. After Worlds.
Yeah, I think we all
Yeah,
want to
that-
do it again. We just have to find the right
yeah, for
time
sure
to
we
do
do.
it. And technically, we
Just
could
think
just
of
do
your-
it any weekend, but if there's something to talk about, we'd rather kind of digest that one first in an episode.
There's a lot going on right now.
Oh, we
Yeah.
did love that. We'll run that back. And last one here from, again, John. Oh, sorry, it's not John, obviously. Will there be any chalked Patreon goals for Worlds at all? Would love to get some more hype during the 20, especially for the Patreon. Now, obviously,
Love that question.
the mullet man
I love that
was
question.
generational. You do? All right, talk about it.
I just love that question. He
Oh,
seems
you just
like
love-
he seems
okay.
like a paid actor. He's shilling the Patreon. He's
Yep.
helping us out. It's a great question.
Yeah, the mullet movement was absolutely once in a lifetime sort of stuff, but we're going to go for it twice in a lifetime. We'll come up with something because can't say too much, but we definitely have, particularly like off season going into next season, we want to be cooking stuff that will be sourced by the Patreon, create some more content for the Patreon. So, yeah, that's certainly still at the forefront of our mind, growing that side of things. And I think, yeah, without saying that we've fully discussed anything, we definitely want to get something going because obviously it's a big part of what we do here, and that's kind of like our you know, they're the boys, and the girls, everyone. They're the patrons. They're the tight knit part of our community, and we want to help them out and create content for them. So, if you have any ideas, let us know in the Discord for Patreon goals.
Also, say about that, like Patreon goals for Worlds. I am going to Worlds pretty late, so it actually is going to be. Well, I don't know if it's probably possible, but it's going to be very hard to actually do Chalked episodes while we're at Worlds, because I don't know, these guys get there like Monday and I get there Thursday like late, so I probably won't do anything Thursday. So it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but then the guys are busy, so it's gonna be hard to actually do episodes. Yeah. But we do have some plans a little bit after that to do some stuff. So it's like not exactly Worlds, but close. You know, it's close.
Oh yeah, we'll be making content in NA, in America,
in
Texas.
But I believe that's it. That's a wrap, fellas. Dazerin needs to go enjoy his Valorant game.
He's already cranking 180s. You can see him in the
reflection. I'm chilling.
I can see the reflection of your monitor in the mirror, buddy. Good luck hitting that headshot.
I need to get non-reflective glasses.
Keep clicking heads, brother.
Keep clicking heads. We appreciate you guys for watching and listening. If you guys missed any part of it, be sure to check it out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Thank you to our special guest, Dazerin, for joining us, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.